SMG will have to wait for. They're going to have to really try to apply that early pressure with the Brewmaster Beastmaster lane. So the two masters together, the master lane coming out there. And MTG Trust, it's very straightforward. They've got the off-lane DP with the push timings and the sustain. They've got the Ursa with the Oracle combo, as mentioned, potentially coming through either that or the Troll. Ursa's still really good with this kind of combination. You can keep him alive for a long time. He has really good shards as well. And Fearless on the Storm. Against a Ricky, I mean, Ricky has a lot of ways to kind of still find his last hits, but Storm Spirit should still be able to get that early advantage up, clear out the wave a bit easier, whereas for Ricky, it takes a little bit more effort to really be efficient in wave clear. So you're getting a little bit more there on MG Trust for the matchup. It's very different. I'm going to answer your question right now, and what I think is better, I'm going to say Motivate Trust. I think the shakeup from SMG is massively risky. If you don't get farm and EXP on that Pause 4 Brewmaster, and you don't get the levels up, and really, we have to see what KP's buildup is on the offlane Beastmaster, because offlane Beast, you still want Ags, but at the same time, you have to be a playmaker, so the Blink has to come through first. And if you don't go for early Ags, like, you miss out on a lot of early farm that can come in, so we'll have to see what KP opts for as well.
What about, though, if KP goes for the Helm of the Dominator instead and plays Beastmaster the same way? Because I'm not sure if they have room to be that greedy with the Aghanim Scepter this game. That's my issue, right? Because you look at the draft of SMG, and it's your classic SCA kind of pub draft, right? Where there's 4 cores and there's a 5th guy who's going to play position 6. But really, he might just, he might just go get an Aghanim Scepter line as well, just for the lols. And I don't know if you have space for the Aghanim Scepter Beastmaster this game. I think KP might need to be a bit more selfless, which he does tend to play like in the offlane. So I don't know if he actually will get the Ags.
Yeah, but it brings back a point that I remember the panel from Upper Div saying when we were casting with him. I think it was Lacoste or Lizard saying this. But if you pick these strong heroes in a patch and you don't play to their new strengths, it feels like you miss out. Like, nothing about Beastmaster improves in terms of push. In fact, it's worse without Necronomicon. So you can play that selfless Beastmaster focusing on objectives, but you will not have the same spikes as he once has, and you're not going to have the same spikes that he does have now because of that shift. So we'll have to see. It is too greedy. I agree with you. That's why SMG's draft is going to be really hard to pull off here.
See, Earthspike is out. Bounty's still going to go the way of MTG on the top side, as KB now is going to cop a fair bit of harassment out from Q, and saw this yesterday in another tournament. Q just really likes to get as much of the battery assault out at level 1 as possible. Let's get quite a nice bit of damage out onto KP. And so the mid lane, this is the one I want to start with, John. Nia 666 against Fearless, the Ricky versus Storm. Does this in any way favor the Ricky?
Not really. I think it's not like an Invoker you're harassing out. You can still play with your Blink Strike and try to farm, but Fearless can gap close, get the Remnant off, control the lane, and apply some good harassment onto Nate. It gets worse once you hit level 3 on Fearless, so Nate's just going to have to watch his spacing, really work that Blink Strike, get his last hits going. You're already off to a fairly good start for Fearless, but there's some potential for the Ricky. Like, if you get a good line rotation, to stun out and the silence could be potent if you level that up early.
That it could. I mean, for now, at least they're just going to farm up and try to take it easy. Like I say, that Nia now going to get quite a bit of harassment off, but Fearless will be just fine. Of course, top lane, you've got Jacky and Leona X up against KP and Mushi. Mushi decided to go to the off lane this time around with KP. I'll throw the Brewmaster down at the bottom. Leona, he's actually taking quite a bit of damage out from Mushi. He's going to be able to salve up and be just fine. So KP, even with these balls that aren't quite as strong as they used to be, he is still applying a lot of pressure onto Jacky and just being a nuisance overall for now.
Yeah, it's a slower lane for Motivate Trust to play with. Like, Ursa needs some levels, so does the Oracle, in order to get that harassment out. The Oracle as well, going for level 1 Fortune's End, means he can't quite burst down the boars. So you're always going to have this great laning presence out from KP. He's 9-1, Jacky's still 6-0, and as long as you manage to play with your boars and your axes here, you're going to feel really nice for KP. You're always going to find that farm, and Mushi's just doing a fantastic job of cutting off Leona from finding the support for Jacky. Jacky. So it's a slower start for MTG up top. We'll have to see how that gets relieved. Of course, that does mean Mushi can maybe get a rotation out to mid down line. Still the last lane down bot. Masaros is on that DP, and mid one is dropping low. Not low enough, but DP is holding out pretty nicely here as well. Except mid one is still finding some really good farm. Afu on the pause 4, Brewmaster down bot is still getting some good zoning. This is bad for the Clockwork. Like, he wants to abuse the battery assault, as you mentioned, but Brewmaster's super tanky, and he can turn around with the Thunderclap, and once he has Drunken Brawler, it could be really nasty as well. So Q doesn't have the safest targets to actually jump in and harass. Like, you can't really commit towards a Monkey King because of Jingu, so Q's just in a very awkward spot where his laning presence doesn't feel amazing.
No, I mean, that's why Arthur's holding that skill point as well, right? Like, you want to see if you need the Drunken Brawler, because Q is going to take more damage if he does going for the Battery Assault cogs. We might see it now, but he's just trying to avoid the small camp being pulled away by Arthur. He's still going to try, but he might be a bit too early, and yeah, Q's just going to be annoying overall, trying to really make sure he can't get the pull off. And that is another thing, though, that MTG have their way, that if the lane is pushed out the way of the Dire, Masaros is going to be able to harass mid one quite nicely with the soul, with the spirit siphons, and well, mid one can't really do much about it if he does get them off.
Yeah, but mid one can focus on farming really well. Like, there's not much harassment coming through. He is abusing that pseudo melee attack, and he's still up there in last hits 21-9, having a way better time than Jacky is, and Masaros is having an even worse time as well. So the progression here for MTG is just not great.
Top lane is where the first blood happens. Leona X able to kill off Mushi, but the axes are going to fly through from KP, and they do secure the kill. Can go back on that point as well, John. KP has opted to, at least for now, go for the level 2 Call of the Wild. So not opting to max the axes yet. Might just go all the way with it.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to play the off lane. Like, you still need to be the playmaker. You're gonna need a blink for the blink lore. Maybe the Dominator, as you mentioned, could be pretty nice here as well. I think Vlad's might actually be better for KP to get that early momentum going with the Monkey King and Ricky. We'll have to see. It's a really good start for the Beastmaster still. You did find that kill on MTG, but Jacky is just not farming the same way. And a slowly farmed Ursa means a slow Battle Fury, and slow Battle Fury means really slow progression in the jungle there for Jacky.
Oh, he might be punished now as well. Mushi going to come in for an Earth Spike. He went for the Earth Shock to try and kill off the boar, but it's going to be a lot of damage output from KP and Mushi. Leona X not quite at that level 4 mark yet either, so he doesn't have the Fate's Edict to really be able to heal him up on this Ursa. Does give him a Tango instead. It's like KP, he's going to interrupt that small camp pull and just take the creep wave for himself, while Mushi does go for a large camp pull. However, bot lane, Masaros, oh, Q. Nice little tree trap there with the Tango. Mid one. Got stunned for a bit, and that meant he could not chase down Masaros or Q. In the end, Arfu does end up going down to the Brewmaster.
Just really good positioning there from MTG. Not a kill you'd expect. Like, Brewmaster is super tanky and, you know, really hard to zone out. But if you do find the angle, it can work out. You did manage to go into the Cinder Brew here for Afu. So he doesn't have the Drunken Brawler to play with. And Q now with a level up can feel comfy with level 2 BA.
Mushi does drop KP. He will at least trade support. In fact, he'll force the TP away from Jacky. Jacky's going to go all the way back to the fountain, then run his way back into the lane, so a waste of time here for Jacky.
No.
It might be one of those games for Motivate where you kind of rely much more on Fearless to try and set the tempo rather than the Ursa. Now, see how that works out as Mushi now's rotated into the mid lane with the Earth Spike out. They've caught Fearless. He is level 7 though, and Mushi does not have level 4. Does not have the Hex up. Fearless will be able to get himself out.
That's a bit optimistic to try to lock in a storm like that. Like, the TP in for Mushi as well. It's not like there's a bottle to refill, so they get some harassment out, forces Fearless back just a bit, but he does have his bottle up. He's going to be able to stack up now build up that triangle stack and try to just get a smooth ride going. It's been really good for Fearless, 47-5. And they are not too far behind, though, at 41-7. So the Ricky's still having a pretty good ramp up. Very even across most of the lanes. Very even kills, 2-3. Less than 1k lead going out for SMG. Big one to watch out for is KP. He roars.
He does roar in. Leona, he's going to try and run, but there's no chance in hell. He's at that level 4, but KP just way too good on heroes like this, the Beastmaster, and immediately just tries to abuse the roar. Meanwhile, bot lane, Arfu does drop to Masaros, mid one, still trying to fight, does go back onto Q and Nia. He's going to rotate to secure the kill. In fact, he goes onto Masaros now, and that is a lot of damage with that Orb of Corrosion. He is really getting through the HP pool of Masaros, but it's not going to be fast enough. Still, he'll blink strike back in, and now he gets it. And that is a really nice rotation out from Nia, 666. Get double kill straight off the bat. And again, I was wondering how much this mid Ricky was going to be able to get done, but well, for now, Nia's doing a great job.
Yep, he's finding farm, he's rotating out. In some ways, core Ricky is very similar to Ember, right? Like the timing into your boots upgrade and corrosion is massive. So Nia can actually get some good damage out. He just needs some additional control. Still, MTG, they're smoked up. Fearless is level 8 here.
Jacky pops the enrage, but they have backup. Muji, no, it's going to be KP they want. With the Fortune's End to lock him down, it's not going to be too hard as they give the kill over to Jacky. That's an important kill to get, as you were already talking about it, but the Ursa was struggling quite a bit in terms of farm. A bit of breathing room to try and catch up, but now Nia has also made a bit of a rotation up towards the top side of the map. But it looks like he's not going to feel too confident moving in on anyone. He's going to go back to the mid lane and perhaps just keep farming up. Fearless. Going to get jumped here, but gets the Vortex off. Q is going to show up, but there's no dust. They can't lock him down, and now KP is going to get the roar off. Leona is around with the disarm on the Ricky to make sure Fearless can turn back around onto KP, but the blink strike back in. Fearless, he is so darn low. They get him with the tricks of the trade. No! Nia is not going to be able to finish the job. He thought about another blink strike in. He'll go on to Q, but Leona again with the disarm. Is being a real nuisance already, and now Q goes in for a battery assault and the Cox pushback, but Nia is going to punish him. They don't have the Fortune's End yet. Leona, he can't purge off the hills, and Nia's going to get another double kill. They got too greedy. You've got to wait till the Fortune's End is up. Otherwise, you're just healing the Ricky.
Yeah, that was optimistic to the turnaround. I think they would have already felt happy by having Fearless back off. They get a bit too fearless themselves, and it's a really good bounce back for Nia. He still finds a couple of kills. The Ricky builds up, #1 in net worth off of that. He is still having a really good time. I believe he's flying out one blade of Alacrity now, so the Ricky's going to hit a lot harder. You do want some EXP to start flowing here for your supports on SMG, especially this Brewmaster. Afu's basically a pause 5 brew. Mushi already has his 6 and Finger ready to go. So you have Finger Roar ready, but you need to split up on Afu to really follow up on the control and Fearless isolate him out in these fights. And aside of MTG now, well, they've got level 6 on Masaros. They can start clumping around bot and use that Exorcism for a push.
Nia's going to come in, try and stop this from happening. Leona. He targeted first, of course. No, they want Masaros on the DP, and they burst him down. Boy, that was quick. Masaros just completely disappearing. As Fearless now is going to rotate on the Storm. I don't really see much of an angle here for Fearless. I suppose he does have the Arcane Rune in the bottle, so maybe he just feels confident to go for a fight right here, right now. Saros, he has respawned, but hasn't decided where he's going to TP yet, it seems, and does eventually decide at the bot lane. As the top lane was being forced in by KB, and I suppose he thought he can't defend it anyway. It was way too late. They may as well just try to trade the bottom T1 instead.
Yep, and there goes that Exorcism. There is still a defense here, though. SMG are TPing in.
That they are. They want to fight. Nia, Fearless going to move in onto the Brewmaster Arfu. He could not get the split off in time. They'll get him onto another. The Lion, Nushi in trouble, but a nice double stun. Not going to be enough with the Wukong's command. Still Fearless is going to zip out. The buybacks are there, though. They really want this fight. Q is going to TP out. KP, he does not have the roar up. Instead, onto Masaros they go, but Masaros, he wants mid one. He's happy to give his life away for this. He will die, but for the greater good. As SMG will lose out very heavily in that team fight.
Radiant's
I'd say the buybacks, it was only our food, but it's not going to feel very worthwhile at all.
No, I mean, you're already stalled out here on the Brewmaster. He does have the earn up, needs a lot more to really have massive impact on that hero. So some of that factor of greed starts to come into question here for SMG. Losing out on mid one as well means that the Battle Fury timing stalls out even more. And you already have the Battle Fury on Jacky. So the Ursa is going to be flash farming a little bit better. You need to start taking control of the jungle here from the side of SMG. But look at the words of MG Trust. They're just keeping the top lane safe and trying to give jungle space out for Jacky.
Strike in, Nia, gonna force the enrage.
Radiant's bottom
all he
tower
wanted.
is under attack.
Force the Ursa away from that farming position. State of this game right now, still a slight net worth lead for Team SMG. But Jacky, you look at his farm on that Ursa and he's caught up quite nicely. Already top of the net worth board, and you look back over to Fearless on that Storm. He's got the Orchid up now. Things are looking rather spicy for MTG and SMG. They've got to be very careful now. MTG are going to start looking towards that mid-tier 1 tower. Never mind that, they found a target, KP. He's been caught out of the Beastmaster. That'll be the awkward reveal out from Fearless on a very nice pickoff. Masaros has got Exorcism in 15 seconds, so they could definitely go onto the mid-tier 1 very soon if they wish.
Yeah, they've got that pressure on hand. The side of SMG right now, again, they're sitting back, they're trying to farm up. They still need mid one to get his Battle Fury. They still need the full Alacrity to fly out in Neo, which it is. But the Ricky's damage output now gets a bit ridiculous. He just needs to focus the Oracle first. If you get Leona out, you don't have to worry about disarms and the false promise. That's going to be the big one. Leo needs to watch his positioning there, but they are sort of clumping up here on the side of MTG. No smokes yet. Not quite popping that, but they are still working that map well. 10 to 10, less than 1k lead on MG Trust. Jacky pulling ahead because of that early B Fury, but SMG smoked earlier.
They do, but they might just run into Leona here. They'll take the target. Nia is the only one to show, so they don't know they're smoked up yet. Motivate Trust, they are being rather careful.
Dire's middle tower is under
Masaros, he got scanned out, but he'll TP. Instead, SMG now showing in the mid lane for a bit. The mid one trying to bait for his team. It's a very juicy kind of bait, but his team is right behind him waiting. Motivate Trust, they seem to know about this. They're not going to engage. They're going to let it go down, but Nia, he found another target with the Hawk out from KB. They'll have the vision, but the false promise is going to save the life of the Clockwork. They got what they came for. They got that mid-tier 1 tower, and SMG should be happy enough to just back.
And they can go straight for the Roche pit. They've got a lot of control, a lot of damage flying through on the Roche. The side of Motivate Trust, though, Fearless.
Fearless is a big hit. He found the Lion, but he's going to get roared up. Fearless did not realize the Roshan was going on. Oh boy, that is not good news. And now Q's been caught out. MTG, a bit of panic here. SMG, they will take full advantage. Found themselves another 2 kills before they go back into the Roshan pit.
That was just really unfortunate. I thought Fearless was trying to preemptively jump Roche, but the rest of his team was too far behind to follow up that kind of move. And now, they don't have anything to fight in that pit. It's going to be a nice, easy Roshan for SMG. The respawns are fairly short, but way too long. Maybe you can make a cheeky play with Q TPing onto the outpost, but it doesn't feel worthwhile. And with the Aegis up, you're going to have protection for either Nea or mid one. It should be Nea taking it. So the Ricky's protected. He's going to be able to get that damage off. He's always going to have an opportunity to find the angle onto the Oracle. And Motivate Trust, well, they're not lagging too far behind. They're still number 1 with Jacky and the hook.
Shot. Oh, they found a big one mid 1. That was a very confident farming position from mid 1. Nushi, he's going to get punished too. I'm not sure what the idea was there. Generally, it's the corner of the lane where you've got to be very careful, right? Like, that's about the boundary. If you get anywhere near that top tier 2 tower, you're inviting them to come in like that.
Yeah, I mean, they don't hold the outpost here in SMG. They don't have wards in the jungle. I don't know why you'd be that far forward. Like, they weren't even carrying the Aegis. I could understand if Neo was just wanting to farm aggressively with the Aegis, but it was Midone. Just a bit of an awkward movement out, and really good punishment from Motivate Trust, though. They see the opening, they make it work, so they keep Midone down. The gap between Midone and Jacky grows to 1k. The blink's up on Jacky. He just needs a little bit more farm to come in. Neo is hunting them down, though.
And he is, Jacky. And be able to back off.
And she has a blink.
And Nia has a diffusal blade. Jacky shows himself again. TP up in 2 seconds, but he knows he's going to get out soon. Get himself out. Yeah, I'm gonna spot him, Jacky. He's being greedy. He's going to be punished for this one. Finger out. He'll go down. Meanwhile, top side, it looks like because Midone was showing. That's why he showed up in the bot lane. But Midone, he might be dead again. The Crypt Swarm connects and they have the damage. So both carries getting very greedy there on the side lanes. And they both get punished
Dire's
for
middle
it.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's awkward for both sides. Really even trade in the end because of that. Slightly better for Motivate Trust, as you know, Fearless just grabs even more to build on the Storm. Once you have the BKB up in the Storm, you're going to be very scary. There's no stuns to control you. You're going to have to commit Roar on KP, which means that there's more room there for Leona, more room for Jacky to just survive and try to get some control back in their way still.
Look out, looks like they have got the Storm, but again, the false promise from Leona. Gonna save the day, and now they'll move in onto the line. They want to try and turn this team fight around. Mushi with the Glimmer Cape is not going to be able to survive. Jacky, he'll get the kill on the Ursa. He wants a bit more. Nice starts down. He ran right into Nia 666, but Midone is going to turn around now with a Boundless Strike. Fearless in trouble. Gets the Alcode off onto the Ricky, but he is still chasing Nia. Wants the kill, but still Jacky. Going to jump in onto KB now. They'll get the Beastmaster. There goes the Aegis, and now the Exorcism has been popped. Midone, he needs to run the best he can. Arthur is going to try and help, but it's not going to be enough. They've got the Monkey King again. Meanwhile, on the side, Nia has been silenced, but Fearless, he has no mana. He has to be very careful because Nia could turn right back around, but no, he's buying time. He's buying time for Jacky to make his way over and help him out with the kill. In fact, they found more now. Afu, he's going to try and run. He's gone. And Fearless kind of tells you the story of that team fight. It was all off the back of Leona getting the false promise out on the Storm and just keeping him alive throughout the whole team fight.
Oh, man.
That was a very nice kind of Oracle play there from Leona.
Yeah, really smooth. Not just the false promises, but his Ghost Scepter as well. Saving him from the Ricky jump back in, gave him the control needed to follow up on a very low mana Storm. So you've got some issues from SMG. You need a nullifier at some point here. You still see Nia queuing up that Sleeping Dart on the Ag Shard. Now that could be one way to take out the Oracle from the fight. You just need to still find that angle. Still always target the Oracle first. Like, they just couldn't find the angle there. Leona positioning is looking a lot better as this game goes on. And Jacky is starting to be a massive issue. As soon as he blinks in, even without the BKB, he just has so much more damage than a Ricky and a Monkey right now. Like, you need the Ags up on mid-1. He's saving up for it. 2 parts away, in fact, 1 part away with his gold. There is a smoke out here from Motivate Trust, though, and Fearless is in position for that zip.
He is. And look at this, a smoke up. Leona, Jacky going to run right into the triangle. Midone, he's going to be very careful. They know exactly where he's going. Jacky, he'll blink strike in. And there is your zip in. Raw has been committed, but you have the false promise there to purge it off. And Jacky will find Midone again. He just read him like a book there, John. Just exactly where he was is where they went.
Is under attack. Dire's structures.
SMG, can they punish anyone on Motivate Trust? They're going to try. Masaros, he's smoked up with Q and Leona. Leona's still around, but no false promises up. Still Nia seemingly needs to back off as Mushi now is the one caught out, and he will die in the Lion. And this could be very bad news. SMG, we talked about their draft. We talked about the fact that it was a little bit greedier and definitely harder to execute than, say, what Motivate Trust has. And I don't think the draft is necessarily made to be to be played from behind.
No. 100% no. You want to be ahead. The Ricky needs to be ahead. The Monkey King needs to be ahead right now. They're at best even. Jacky's just pulling so far ahead though. Becomes a bit scary. Fearless, he has his BKB. So the smoke screen's not going to help. If you roar Fearless and not Leona, Leona is still going to get false promise in these fights. That's the big issue. They've got this BKB piercing stun on the roar, but they have the Oracle to purge it off. So KP is going to have a really hard time in isolating here. SMG though, smoke up. They know that false promise is down for a little bit longer. Roche is not quite up. They are going a bit blind. They don't have forward vision in top jungle, only in the triangle here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Lane, Jacky gonna show. This is bait. Jacky has his team on the right side.
Players here.
P1
Radiant structures are
gonna go down. It
fortified.
looks like Jacky
Scanning.
there to set up. SMG obviously well aware that the team is right
Radiant's
there
middle tower has
behind the
fallen.
Ursa and will not initiate. They'll wait for an opening.
And it's up.
Radiant's
That'll
middle
be it.
tower is
MTG,
under
they do not
attack.
get punished. So it looks like they're ready to slowly start sieging the bottom tier 2 tower. On the brighter side for
Radiant's bottom
SMG,
tower
mid
is
one
under
does
attack.
have the Ags up now.
Oh.
Smoke. Oh, he was spotted. They saw it. The observer was there. They dip right in onto Harfu. They get the kill. Kill by back. Wukong's command. Raw is out. Q will be targeted. However, Mushi, he's in trouble. There's your finger around Q. He is gone. Jacky has the false promise. Masaros getting deleted in the Wukong's command. And now they turn around back onto the Oracle. Meanwhile, on the left side, Jacky has been controlled up. Mid one jumps in. And this should be a very nice team fight. MTG getting caught with their pants down. Will get punished. In SMG, considering how bad of a start it was to that team fight, it's kind of crazy how the only person to die was Harfu.
Yeah, they overcommit on Motivate Trust side. Like, the moment they killed Afu, they were clumped up for a triple Earth Spike coming out from Mushi. And they kind of split the fight up. Like, Fearless and Jacky were elsewhere, Masaros and Q were elsewhere, and they just got isolated. They couldn't use their spells in conjunction. Very good cleanup from SMG. They're going to get a nice free tier 2. And Motivate Trust lose that lead. It's down to less than 1k now. So, really good swing back for SMG, and Motivate Trust kind of underestimating the counterfight potential from SMG. They need a Force Staff here. Like, they've got some Ghost Scepters up. You still need a Force Staff to either take the Monkey King outside his Wukongs or get yourself out from the smoke screen.
Nice hook shot. That'll be a dive back on Harfu if he's left alone. That he will be. Very nice there from Q to set up, and again, that'll be the Brewmaster gone for about 50 seconds now. Can Motivate do anything with this? Roshan is up.
Yeah, that should be the play. They can try to force it out. They don't have to worry about any Brewlings in the middle of the fight to be disrupted. Free Ag Shard, you can't allow SMG to get that. Like, we see Nea, he had the shard. He already has his shard, so that Sleeping Dart is in play. He can isolate Leona if he finds that positioning. Roche will melt to an Ursa. They've got to move fast about this.
See if the Sleeping Dart comes into play as they do throw down Fearless. He's gonna get stunned up. How annoying is that gonna be? It's a very short cooldown, by the way, John. Very short. Nice zip though.
Boom. There it
Yeah,
goes.
this is so annoying.
And they go. He caught KP. They've caught him. KP's gone. No, in fact, Nia, he's the one to go down first. Mushi, he will drop KP. He's going to run out of there with the Glimmer Cape, but mid one has been left behind on the Monkey King, and he's dead.
Oh. Mid one was trying to use his Wukongs. The zip broke the tree. He was stuck. They couldn't get the follow-up, and now Roche is going to go MTG's way. Aegis, Cheese, and Shard. Shard for Jacky. The Battle of Balance, Mike, Earthshock, and Rage now up. So pick your poison. What's stronger? Sleeping Dart or Enrage on Earthshock? I have a feeling it's Earthshock, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really stupid question, John. Of course it's the Earthshock one. 1.5 seconds worth of an enrage buff on yourself, and it reduces the cooldown of Earthshock by 1 second. Because why not? Because 8 seconds was too long, Ice Frog, was it?
Yeah, way too long. Now you just have to hope for tier 3 items, nice little quickening charm, you know, to make things
Radiant's
nice and
top
spicy.
tower.
We'll
He's
see
gonna
if they
get
get
it too.
lucky.
He'll get a score. It'll happen.
100%.
I guarantee it.
SMG now. I mean, they showed off the sleeping dart. I think
Radiant's
what
top
needs to
tower
happen
is
is
under
Nea
attack.
sleeping darts Leona, and you clean up everyone else, or you sleeping dart the Storm somehow. Very hard because it's projectile still. They're coming in.
Yeah, mid one, Leona exits. A nice target to start on. Meanwhile, Fearless has caught somebody else, however. Looks like in the mid lane, they do kill off Nia. A much bigger target, and now Jacky seeing that Nia going down. He does kill off KP. Q, he does die in the Wukong's command mid one. Let's get something for their trouble, but it is not a good trade whatsoever. You've lost 2 cores across the map for 2 supports. Motivate Trust, they should be able to get at least 1 tower out of this.
Yeah, if they want to. It looks like they're not fully committing for top. They want to keep working the map right now. And Jacky is blocking.
Oh, they spotted him out. Primal Split's going to be committed. They'll be able to get him out of there now. Little space creation there from Arthur, but that is going to mean his Primal Split is going to be down for a while. But perhaps if you motivate, you think to yourself, maybe you can abuse that timing while the split is down. You've got almost 2 minutes to go for it. In fact, they found a DD lead. Very nice.
Yeah, it's on demand there still.
Over here now. Fearless. Using no boots at the moment. Jump in there. He's got Masteros, BKB, False Promise. It's going to be enough to save the day.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's like Jacky wants to just try and finish off the what looks like a Satanic before they get any more too involved, and it's mid one going for. He wants the basher up. He's not going for the immediate Daedalus rush that we've been seeing a lot of on these Monkey Kings.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, you do need some follow-up stunts to go through that BKB now.
Radiant's bottom
Some really
tower
good
is
control on
under
hand.
attack.
They are still sort of clumped up. The Aegis is still running here for MTG. They've got about a full 2 minutes on it. So they still have a lot of opportunities to just take control of the map. Again, go for those towers. Jacky's starting to dig into that bot tier 2. SMG starting to focus on the top to try and force a trade or a response. There are still fortifies to play with, and both sides will just kind of try to go for objectives for now and stall out the big team fight. You don't really want to force it with SMG. Like Aegis on Fearless just gives him a ton to play with. So even trades as SMG still wait out on new items as well. The Manta is not yet up for Nea. He's stalled out since the Yasha after the defusal. It's not been a smooth ride for the Riki, lagging behind in farm now. So that greed again is a big factor here, and they're still gonna have to find a way to get that gold flowing. KP saving up for the Ags, halfway there. Just needs to get some farm up, and that's the story of the game for SMG. They just need to keep farming and hit these item spikes and bounce back in that way.
Is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under
Motivate, they've
attack.
smoked up. Fearless looks like he's just trying to bait around for his team right now. SMG, they counter smoke. KP, not
Radiant's
smoke,
middle
but he
tower
might be
is
the
under
bait.
attack.
There's the pings flying out. Motivate, they want to go for this. Zip is in. KP, he has indeed been targeted. They're going to try and turn Wukong's command. Not out yet, but he does finally get it out mid one. They're going to run out of that circle, but they've got the Aegis on Fearless. A nice start. Still KP is being chased down by Masteros and might just drop through the ghost. In fact, Fearless is going to zip right in and make sure they get the kill. What they want, Nia, he's underneath the sentry ward right now. Fearless gets the vortex, Jacky gets the bashes, they get the kill. Fu trying to TP, but no Leona. He'll have something else to say about that. Fu, he will die. A double kill out for Jacky, and it's going to be a 3-0 trade. Motivate now with a 9k lead. In fact, now they got the Aegis, but it's not really a lie.
Radiant's middle
No,
tower is
it
under
was about to expire anyway. Like, it would have expired by now. So really good Aegis use there from Motivate Trust. It looked good for a bit from SMG, but it just falls flat once more, and they're just not getting the max value from this Riki. Again, itemization has stalled out. Farm is not flowing for the 2 cores, whereas for Motivate Trust, you really are taking over with Jacky. Onto the high ground, no Wukongs for the defense, no Finger. Roar going to be up soon, but Roar alone's not going to be enough to stop that push.
Radiant's middle
So let me
barracks
ask
are
you,
under
what's
attack.
better than a quickening charm on Ursa?
What's better?
Yes.
Spell person?
No, well that is for Tier 4, but he's got the Titan Slither right now, John. So why not just amplify the status resist instead?
Radiant's
Until the
middle.
Tier 4 items where you get a Spell Prism.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
It's beautiful. They still get more ult. Oh.
Nice BKB, Max Ross. No, Raw's going to come out. They want to fight, but MTG might turn. They are a bit low in terms of HP and mana, but they still have the chance to go, and they are fearless. Right into the backlines on Nushi. The hook shot onto Arfu. Jacky, he caught KP on the Beastmaster, and it looks like KP's going to try and run. He might just make it out. Mid one, he'll get the Wukong's command defensively out. Back in onto the Oracle Leona with the Ghost Scepter. It's going to be fine, and now Jacky's right back in onto Arfu. Never mind that. Let's go on to Nia. He'll try to blink struck the backlines, but no, the false promise. Leona X, the man just won't die. He keeps bringing them back in. Mid one, he'll try onto the Ursa with the bashes out, but they've lost KB. Now mid one needs to try and run away. Fearless, he's going to get brought down from the Yules. Is he going to be able to survive? Not quite. They'll get the storm. Now Nia back in on the Clockwork Q. Should drop here as mid one. He'll keep moving forward, trying to find more. Nia now will find Q finally, but the hook shot is there. The Spirit Vessel, Nia. Is he gonna die? No, 3 HP. 3 HP the Ricky survives on. Back to mid one. He'll kill off Leona X. But Jacky's not done. He kills off Arfu. Mushi's around though. The enrage is there. How do you kill off an Ursa if you can't stun him permanently? Well, maybe they can mid one. He's gonna try. But the Lion Mushi about to die. There's no damage output. Jacky, the bashes mid one. The man fight. Jacky's gonna try. But no, the sleeping dance in. Nia will put him to sleep.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
What a
attack.
great team fight that was. Very extended. It ends up being a 3-for-4 trade. They did get the melee barracks to the mid lane. But I'd say SMG should be okay with that, considering the golden XP change they got.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big win for SMG. Motivate Trust kind of overstaying their welcome. I mean, look like they just came back for Monsters really after the war. You might have been better off just letting Monsters die, but it is what it is. Gives SMG some breathing room. They're going to be able to get some more farm up. The Manta's finally done on Nea, so he has a way of purging off some of that dust, some of the silences coming through. And that's going to put a dent in Motivate Trust's control here, as they're going to be able to at least get out of that root and silence. Have to be a bit cautious about that. There is the Abyssal now done here on mid one as well. So he's got his own way of stunning out. And I think for the side of Motivate Trust, they might just maybe wait out the next Roach. It's only half a minute away. You do have good control here from SMG clumping up in that jungle, and they are smoked up again.
They make this one work. Q gonna break the smoke in the tree line, mid one. Primal springing through, does find Fearless, but oh, what a dodge of the balance strike, and now the silence is there. Still, false promise out onto Q. Hook shot onto Nia. Q might just sacrifice himself to let his team get out, and it looks like that might just be the plan. Mid one is still trying to find another target, and it looks like he has found Leona, and will eventually find the Oracle to take him out. Nice double kill there for SMG.
Dire's structures are
As
fortified.
long as Jacky's down, they know they can get it done. Game is slowly but surely evening back out, at least in terms of net worth.
Yeah, they're really finding the openings on SMG. MTG just sticking their heads out for a bit and gets chopped down. Have to really still remember that SMG's got a lot of good control. The supports by themselves do not have that damage output. Now you have to deal with the Beastmaster Ags. KP finally has it up. So this is where it can be ridiculous. If KP's allowed to live, his damage output's going to be a bit too much to handle. You don't have the best sustaining supports here from the side of Motivate Trust. And you have the Oracle, but you don't have anything like a Guardian Greaves up, a mech up. Nothing to help you burst regen back up outside the Oracle spells. So it can be a bit dicey. Leona X, again, has to work himself perfectly in these engagements. And the Roche is up, so SMG go right in. That has a free Ags blessing as well. Don't want to give this one away if you're MG Trust.
They do not. They're making their way over, but Arfu is around blocking the way. They can hook shot in to try and steal, but instead, the start to Arfu, the Aeon Disc will save still. They're not going to jump in with the Wukong's. Hook shot was not there in time for Q. They need to run right now. That Wukong's command is going to do way too much damage. They are going to lose Masaros. You've got Hookshot down, so you could try to rush the Roshan, but he does have an Axe. So he can refresh and try to steal. And Q, he might give it a shot, Roshan is getting quite low. He does need to refresh, and it's too late. He's gonna miss out. SMG, they got what they came for. They'll be able to relax now, knowing they have the Aegis. They have the Ags upgrade on Nia. Where's the cheese at, John? Mid one's gone.
Yeah, it's scary now. Nia with a free Ags doesn't even need to spend 4,200.
Right in, but the ball blocked at KP. Going to be silenced up, but a bound strike to lock them both in. Now the head's up, Fearless. He's going to drop a Jacky. He's in. He's going to try and find onto mid one. Can he get through the HP pool of the Monkey King? It looks like he just may, as the Abyssal Blade was there, but mid one is still trying. The false promise is going to fly out Leona, trying to heal him up, but here comes Nia into the back lines. Leona trying to survive. They will get Leona down. Q will drop. Jacky will go through the false promise, and it is not looking good now. But Motivate Trust, it looks like SMG might be able to take this to the high ground.
I mean, Motivate Trust forced the fight into Aegis Cheese. They don't respect the Ags on Ricky, and they just got ripped to shreds. I'm not sure why they really forced the issue there, as SMG just manages to clean up. They do have buyback on Jacky. They've bought buybacks on their supports as well. The gem is going to be picked up by Mushi's courier, so you're not even going to be able to snipe that away. And SMG, they can push real fast. KP just clears out these waves like it's butter. And beside Motivate Trust, they're going to have to pull out something amazing in the high ground. They don't necessarily have the best AoE control to stop it. And mid one still has the Wukongs to play with here.
And he does. Level 27 on that Monkey King. Mid one, very confident. Oh, Fearless, he's got the Vortex off, but it's not going to be enough damage output. There's your Daedalus out now on the Monkey King as well, so the damage has gone up substantially in that Wukong's command. And with the Aghanim Scepter statues, you've got to be very careful. Got to be one racks down. Onto the top lane they go. Jacky's up in 20. He does not want to commit the buyback yet. He wants to hold down. We saw this last game, don't forget, John. They did make a comeback from 2 racks down. SMG understand how careful they have to be around this team. As mid one, gonna get zipped on. Fearless. Oh, he got bashed up the Abyssal Blade there through the BKB. The Aegis still not down, but they finally get it. Q is in danger. Bingo, the heal's out. Leona will save the day now. The Abyssal out from Jacky onto mid one. Mid one, he's dropping low. The bashes there. They take him out. He's got no buyback again. Nia now, he goes down. He'll have buyback on the Ricky though. Mushi, oh, zipped on perfectly, but they can't cancel the TP. Instead, towards the right side, they found our Phil and the Brewmaster. They might be able to get him instead. And here we go again, John. A very similar scenario to last game. On the brighter side, this time Arfu and Nia do have buybacks on.
Yeah, they're not going to be completely screwed out here. They're going to have themselves up and running for the defense. There is no double damage. Does get denied after KP. Very nice move there. And inside of Motivate Trust now, they're going to have to, well, maximize this moment. No Monkey King is big. They are in a very risky spot still. You don't want to be caught out with no buyback on your side. Jacky is about 600 gold off. So Jacky has to be a bit careful, but they need to really clear out the racks and even out the map control.
That they do, and they're going to try now. KP, he'll be around with the axes to really just be a real nuisance here on the Beastmaster, and quite nice to have the axe up to be able to defend this high ground if you're KP. Of course, he does have to be a little bit cautious because Fearless could zip in at any moment, and they do. They've got the Beastmaster. KP's gone. He has buyback, but with that death, Arfu, he fought back to try and save the Beastmaster. MTG, they'll need it back now. Mid one is up in 5 seconds. SMG, there was a lot of damage dealt on that tier 3, but they're happily going to hold.
Yeah, and they've got some really good items flying through. You've got a BKB up on Nia, and that should mean that it's harder to pin down this Ricky. Full duration here as well. So if you were trying to rip through the back lines and try to focus down to squish your cores, the Ricky's going to be a lot harder to handle. SMG though, do sacrifice the buyback on Nia for that, but it looks like it's just time for SMG to go back to farming up, build up, try to save for some of that buyback. They do find a Spell Prism on Motivate Trust, by the way, so there it is. And it is on Masaros for now, though.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, Jacky's gonna take the ninja gear instead. Fair enough. I mean, that's kind of nice though, because you can sneak in from the backside and get rid of that lion and fill in the Brewmaster. I did guarantee though that Spell Prison would come out. Zap! Like my credit, thank you, Jacky.
Yeah.
You're gonna avoid the sleeping dart. Mid one. Gonna be able to hold him down. It's very hard with the Aghanim Shard on Jacky to really lock him down long enough. He never really has to commit the full enrage. You can just Earth Shock and you just can't do anything.
Yeah, it's enough to stall out for Jacky to, you know, live through some of that initial damage and control. He is saving up now for that Swift Blink. So, you know, he's going to get some more agi to play with, more right-click damage, more attack speed. Really nice utility when you blink in as well. The Satanic's the big spike that I think Jacky absolutely needs. He needs a way to heal himself out outside of the Oracle, because he lives long enough that he can turn around, and he just needs some lifesteal. So, do smoke up on MTG. Gonna try to make something happen. Roche still a long way off, but maybe if they get a pick off here, they can start to go back into the high ground.
Both teams are being very cautious. SMG, they'll just try to push out the top lane and force the rotation back, as mid one now is going to hide as a tree on top of a tree. Himself for the initiation. MTG still smoked up. Q gonna have his smoke broken. Sees Arfu. He's gonna go for the hook shot in. Nobody initiating yet. They're waiting for both teams to show themselves. So Arfu, he can primal split and fearless. He's got the AoE vortex now. Catching the backside onto Mushi, but the Ghost Scepter gonna save the day as mid one. He popped the Wukong's command. It is gonna wear off for Jacky. He does kill off Mushi. Onto mid one now. Mid one trying to fight with Nia. They might have the Ursa, but the vortex is in again. Fearless just gonna drag them right back into the false promise. Keeping the Ursa alive, but the Helllock has been one. He's got so much damage down. They are going to kill him before the Ursa goes down. Onto Nia now. Q. He'll lock him down with the double hook shot out. And Leona, he found Arfu. Mushi, he does not want to die like this. The Shivers Guard barely not going to reach Arfu. Pop the Drunken Brawler. Just try to run while Masros will continue the chase down with the Yule Scepter out. And the Fortune's End. Mid one has buyback if he wants to commit it, and so does KB. But Arfu, are they actually going to time Team Force? Yeah, they are. Hookshot it again. Now the buybacks come out, but they've already gotten the kill. Mid one's going to try and punish now with the double boundless strike and the raw to fly out onto Masseros. And they may have gone way too far. Q, he has no hookshot to relieve himself from this scenario, and he's also going to die.
Double damage!
So they force the buybacks out of mid one and KB, but it does cost 2 lives of their own.
I think you're happy. Like, MTG still holding on to buybacks on those 2 heroes that died. They can just come back in, take the diebacks first, and then go back out. This is a really risky spot for SMG. Their options are limited. Roche is still 2 minutes away, so they can't even play for that objective. And you have to be careful.
KB!
Oh boy.
He just fought back! Oh no! He's got him!
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That's 2 minutes without the Beastmaster now. MTG might have their opening. Roshan's not going to be up for another minute 40, so they're not going to be able to go back to that. What do you do here? Do you just farm up and maybe get the Swift Blink up on Jacky?
You could. I mean, you have nothing else to play for. You have to wait for the respawn on your 2 heroes. Unless someone missteps. Like, say, if they spot mid one, chop the right tree, that could be one way to do it.
Oh, Fearless, he's found him. He tries to get the tree chop. He doesn't quite get there. He does both BKB. Jacky, he's in with the mash out, and now the Abyssal Blade. They've got the Monkey King mid-one. He's going to eat the cheese with the Fury Swipe. It's so much damage. They get him down. Onto Nia now. Nia's going to try and fight back with the Sleeping Dart. Turning onto the Storm, but the false promise from Leona is going to save the day. Oh, mid one's down for 2 minutes to boot. There's going to be no big push up from MTG quite yet. They have creeps in their base. But this is going to give them plenty of more time to just keep farming up. Jacky, he has a choice now. Satanic or Swift Blink. Both of them are quite affordable for him very soon. It seems like he's dead set on the Swift Blink, but yeah, I kind of agree with you on that, John.
Like lifesteal. You see how long Jacky lives. If he just has lifesteal, he is literally unkillable. Like, they throw everything out on him. Because of Enrage, it lasts so much shorter. And he just needs a couple of hits. He's back to full HP. So I think Satanic is the smart play, but he is buying out Swiftling. So I think he wants to be more slot efficient. He's going to have to take something out if he wants that. And
Nia
Fearless
gets Fearless. I did not spot that one out. My apologies. Nia setting up a nice kill for the team.
Radiant's
And
middle
with Fearless
barracks are
gone, you
under
can't
attack.
really push in.
risky. They could
Dire's
go for the
bottom
Roche.
tower is
Jacky's
under
in.
attack.
So that's Refresh and Ag's blessing along with Cheese and Aegis. This is where it gets really dicey. SMG has to run up to contest this, but again, against an Ursa, Roche does not last long.
No, it does not. Aegis taken. Aghanim Scepter. Looks like he might just take it for himself. Fair enough.
Dire's courier has been killed.
I love the fact that
Dire's middle tower is under
everything to
attack.
do with Ursa in regards to Aghanim is about enrage. This is like how the cooldown's 18 seconds now, and you could just pop it whenever you feel like it. How nice
Yep.
is that?
Beautiful. It's lovely. You have that. You have the Earthshock, still doing ridiculous stuff with, and you got your BKB. It's wild for Jacky right now. Very hard to pin down. SMG, for their part right now, Mike, they've ridden through that moment where buybacks were down. They have 4 minutes to wait though for those buybacks to refresh on most of their heroes. Afu only has a minute to wait for his buyback, but you kind of have to work to that point for SMG. MG Trust with the Aegis Cheese, they feel a lot safer. They could make big fight, and Fearless asking for okay, crash. All right, I thought you meant they should just clash now. I was like, all right, that's like such a C-pub thing to say, just clashes 4. But yeah, no, it's a crash. All right.
Fearless isn't even alive right now, John. I'm not sure why he'd be asking for a clash.
Yeah, because he could micro Jacky. See, he could play the Ursa. That's what he wants.
True. Very true. Wants to know what it feels like to be all farmed up and fuzzy like a bear. Jacky. So, do you go for the Satanic now? I mean, obviously after the Aegis does expire, surely it's either Divine Rapier or just a straight Satanic here for the Ursa.
Yeah, I'd say no damage issues. Satanic should still be the play. Jacky keeps it queued up. And I do like that. Like, again, just some life steal on hand is going to make a difference. SMG, they're positioned aggressively. They could be caught out here.
Rock it on.
Gonna smoke up on the Brewmaster now. Little arcane rune being found out now by Nia.
They'll never see this coming.
The Spell Prism, 6.9 seconds on the cooldown for the Sleeping Dart. Very nice.
Nice
Trade is at a 4.6 second cooldown. Very good.
Balanced. Very balanced with that Spell Prism here on Nia. He's the one wanting to play with that. We're not seeing that out from Jacky. Of course, he's playing smarter with move speed on Ninja Gear. Just very speedy, and he does manage to take away the boot. So, you know, he's slightly slower. He's going to have to always play with a Swiftling to get himself in the right spot, at least while the Aegis is up. But the side of SMG, again, they're just keeping all the waves shoved in. They've got a Beastmaster, they've got a Monkey King. They can jump around, keep the waves in, and prevent Motivate Trust from getting too far out from their base. They get the
Dire's
Ags up
bottom
on
tower is
Afu.
under
That
attack.
is massive. He's got the charges on Primal Split, so it's harder to kill off that Brewmaster if you don't get the control initially, and that does mean you might get controlled up if you're not careful there from all of the stuns and the Yules and the Cyclones coming through from the Brewlings. Can be a bit dicey as SMG are getting a bit of a second power spike with the Sodomization now.
Certainly can be, John. Bottom tier 2 going to drop, and now even the Nullifier out from Nia. Certainly going to help out the heroes of Motivate Trust. Not sure why you've got that damn Oracle around. It's been having a very rough time with Leona X this game. Still, high ground is the objective for SMG. They do not have a Roshan to go to, so they might just wait it out and farm up a bit more. Of course, Motivate has a 7k net worth advantage. So it could be dangerous, but Jacky gonna run in. Smoke does end up breaking. He won't turn around fast enough. Arthur could initiate and does decide to, but the Enrage was there. Of course, with the Aghanim Scepter, there's no real risk in just throwing out the Enrage like that because the cooldown's so low. You're always gonna have it.
Yeah, there are no worries. And they do smoke up here. Motivate Trust did clear out the Hawks. We could find an angle.
Oh, mid one, he got one out. They got the tree, the vortex is down. Mid one's dead without buyback again. The rocket flare giving the vision out from Q. Now KP's going to be chased. Masteros, he will cancel off the TP. That'll be KP gone. Mid lane, Q trying to fight up against Arfu. He will primal split, but he's stuck in the cogs with nowhere to go. Fearless even just leaves him. He just lets the supports take care of it. Arfu. Fortune's then going to land on the Storm Panda. There's the real one, Jacky, a big scary bear chasing him down, and that is Arfu gone. Another primal split, just in the nick of time. And he even goes back for the bounty. He'll deny it off. Q gonna get stunned up, but that'll be it. Arfu barely gets his way out. Motivate Trust though, they have 3 heroes down without buyback, John. And I can almost assure you that they're going high ground again.
Yeah, they refreshed on Masteros, Exorcism back up. They're going to line up for that shove. Probably just going to rush tier 4s. Maybe the bots had racks, but I think they want to go for the juggler. So we'll see the punishments out. I mean, it's still 30 seconds until these big heroes are back. They're just so strong inside of MT Trust.
Yeah, I mean, look how many Ghost Masteros has out right now. That clip's going to wear out, and Jacky's in. He's found Arfu, and Arfu is eventually going to die. Fearless, he does get him. Jacky the one to pick up the kill. Don't tell me they get another comeback like this. 2 racks is down. Motivate Trust really want to win in fashion, it seems, as the hook shot is in on Samushi. They've got the Lion. Mid one's back up. He can jump in and fight, but the hook shot is there. Jacky gonna man fight the Wukong's command. Mid one trying his best, but Jacky, he's not afraid with the false promise and the Aegis, and now Fearless comes back in on the board. That's it. GG has to be called. They can't defend, surely. They're gonna try, but Jacky is still alive. The Aegis wears off, and there's the GG call. MTG. How do they keep doing it, John? Over and over again. 2 racks is down, and it's like a fire just gets lit underneath their asses, and suddenly they can just play better.